Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, today's only going to be a high of 53, and it looks like it's going to be sunny. The rain has stopped. So I got my gas bill yesterday, and for October, and it hasn't even been that cold. It was $315. I have never in my life had a gas bill like that. It's ridiculous. They are screwing us right and left. And I don't know, these utility companies, and they're making money hand over fist. Oh well, I guess I have to go shopping again for another carrier. So they make it more difficult than it has to be. Used to be you had one carrier and that was it. Now you have to buy your gas and electric from this one and that one, and this one lasts for 6 months, this one lasts for this many months. It's just one big pain in the butt. So anyway, upward and onward. I can still enjoy my coffee, and that's what I'm going to do. So I guess I gotta go shopping for a new carrier. So cheers. So anyway, I hear we're supposed to get a Social Security raise. Big whoopee. It's 2.5, 2 point something percent. And the cost of living has gone up, 30%? So big deal. You get an extra $50, if that. Well, I guess that'll buy the groceries. And then YouTube, of course, isn't paying what they used to pay either. So that's like a third of what they used to pay. And a lot of YouTube creators are just hanging it up and saying, you know what, forget it. It's not worth the effort. But I'm not going to do that because I enjoy making my videos. Even though I may not be making them every day all the time, most of the time I will. But, we have to adjust. So most of the time, if you're a senior, you don't have a lot of wiggle room. So, because your income doesn't change much, it just kind of stays the same. So the best thing is to just be debt-free. Now I'm pretty much debt-free, except, I've told you guys I'm paying off my tires and car repair that I had, I think it was last July. So I have like $800 I still have to pay off on that. I'm keeping a close eye on my Amazon account so that I don't get into debt there. Trying to keep it so that I can pay it off in a month. And of course, I'm very grateful that I have a food stash. So anyway, a lot of us are in the same boat, especially if you're a senior. So who knows, down the road, I may be going to the food pantry. So a lot of people, I've gone to the food pantry maybe twice, 2 or 3 times in the past. And of course, you got those people going, oh, you drive a nice car, you have a nice house, blah, 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 blah. Well, I got the nice car and the nice house before I retired, so it's paid for. So it's got nothing to do with current income. So don't be afraid to go to the food bank and tell those people that are negative Nellies to just mind their own plate and their own P's and Q's. So anyway, the food bank that we have here, it's like a food pantry, and they do pre-boxed things, And there's a lot of, prepared foods in there and stuff like that. And most of it isn't food I eat anyway, but that's the one that's closest to me. And but right now I don't need that. I'll make do with what I have. But down the road I may need to do that. So if you need it, use it. And don't worry about the judges out there, the self-proclaimed judges, because they're around. And do what you need to do. So anyway, I'm going to go enjoy my coffee and enjoy the rest of the day. And I will be back. So we're here at Scramblers and with Mom. Say hello.
Hi, who am I say hi to?
The YouTube people. So very, very good food.
Come and eat with us.
There you go. That would be nice. All right. Well, I'm on the way home. I had to go to my mom's. She called me and it's like, oh, I ran out of pills. It's like, oh. So we went to breakfast. Made a nice visit out of it. Went to breakfast and I took her to Mark's. And she picked up some things there, not too much. So that's taken care of the shopping for another week. And we usually end up going to Aldi's, but since we had to pick up the prescriptions at Mark's, we just did our shopping there. And they have things that Aldi's doesn't have, so that's what we ended up doing. So anyway, I'm on the way home now, and it's already 3 o'clock, so I won't be starting any projects at home. I'm probably just going to do what I do every afternoon, have myself a cup of tea or coffee and kind of chill. So, yeah, anyway, what else is going on? Not too much. I don't need any food. I'm good in that department. And I'm still eating up what I have. And trying to make like one extra meal every time I cook. One to eat and one to freeze or eat in a couple days. So that's kind of my strategy. And yeah, go on from there. So this morning I was thinking about simplifying, and I was reading an article in the Epic Times. They have a prescription for that, an online subscription, not prescription. And they always have a lot of interesting articles. So I was reading about simplifying. And they were saying, the universe itself always wants to entangle everything. And that's true. Have you ever tried to get a cord out of a box and it's always tangled up with something else? Or, yeah, I mean, it happens to me all the time. It just naturally, everything tangles up. Even people tangle up. Right now I'm untangled. But they were saying that sometimes people naturally make things harder than what it has to be. And I know this is something that I myself do. It's like I have to plan and plan and plan. And then maybe I'll start, and then it's like, then we plan some more. So they said a better way to go is just kind of just jump in with both feet, figure it out as you go along. And that will make things simpler. And it also will stop the procrastination that so many of us have. Because planning to do something, to me, is more fun than actually hands-on doing. Anyway, that's me. Everybody's different. But that was one thing that they said. And then I got to thinking, and, another thing, you tend to overcomplicate things. Keeping it simple and saying that's good enough, getting rid of the perfectionist ideology. There again, just keeping it simple. All right. Well, that makes perfect sense to me. So I know I overcomplicate things, and I learned it from my mom because even now, she really overcomplicates things a lot rather than doing it. And it all stems from a fear of making a mistake. But you know what? So what? Think of it as happy accidents or think of it as a learning process. Every step that you take, whether it works out or whether it's a mistake, is still a step in the right direction because you learned something. At least that's what I think. Everything you do, you learn from. And nobody was born a master anything. I mean, you've got your savants that I don't know where that came from, but they're gifted, and they're gifted in math or playing a piano, but most of us are not savants. So we have to learn step by step. So an example for me would be my garage. Don't judge me, YouTube. But, I have to plan out, okay, this is going to go there and that's going to go there. And I am making progress out there. But then I thought to myself, just do it as you go along. And say then that that's good enough. You can always go back some other time and change things up a little bit if it's not working out. It's not written in stone. So I'm going to try a different approach to getting things done. And I'm just going to jump in and just do it. That's where that saying, just do it, I think comes from too. Rather than planning and, wanting everything to work out perfectly, that doesn't work out. And I mean, even works with relationships. Planning a perfect relationship or finding the perfect man or woman or whatever. Just jump in there and try on the shoes before you buy them. So, it's the more you're exposed to something, the more you learn from it, I think. So I found that article very interesting, and it was just an article on simplifying, and not overcomplicating everything. Because I know I do that. Even now when I go pick my mom up, it's like, well, do I have everything? She'll check her purse 3 or 4 times, and then, she'll check this and she'll check that. And it's like rather than just walking out the door, you have to go through this whole rigmarole before you're actually out the door. And it's very freeing, in my opinion, to just go and do something rather than thinking it to death. So, but I've always been a planner, but I think I'm going to cut back on some of the planning and do more doing. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you just hop in there and do it? Or are you a planner? Or do you do both? And I think both is probably a good thing, depending on what the project is. Doing a little of both, but more so just actually hands-on. That's how I learn the best, is hands-on. I can read something in a book 10 times, and it doesn't teach me as much as when I'm hands-on and I get in there and I do it. So, and like I said, so what if it doesn't work out? You can always change it. I mean, unless it's something that's, permanent and you can't ever change, then there's a little more planning involved. But most things in life are not that written in stone. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that while I'm driving. And it's a nice sunny day, but we have a lot of really dark fall clouds. It's a beautiful fall day. The wind is chilly out there, but not so chilly that it's unpleasant, if you're dressed warm enough. So anyway, my friends, that's all I have for you today. And I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.